Morning guys, Dave Canterbury from the Pathfinder School, back with another series in our firearms videos. We've been talking about weapons that I think make a lot of sense for the common man, and also as far as their durability and sustainability, their ease of maintainability and things of that nature, and their adaptability over the last few videos. And what I want to talk to you about today was what I consider a really good combination for sustainability. In other words, long term, I'm going to use these weapons. I want them to be reliable, sustainable, maintainable, all of those things. And this combination, I think, is probably the most bulletproof thing that you could find as far as versatility goes and ease of maintenance. So what we're talking about, again, is the single shot 12 gauge shotgun. We've talked about that in a lot of videos. It's almost like beating a dead horse here. But the single shot 12 gauge shotgun is probably the easiest weapon to maintain. It's going to last a long time. It has very few moving parts. Yes, follow-up shots are going to be a little slow, but once you get used to it, you can follow up a shot within about 3 or 4 seconds very easily with this thing. The versatility of this gun is what makes it so amazing. You can obviously get the adapters for this gun that we've talked about from Short Lane Arms, and in that case, you know, you can get a 22 long rifled adapter that slides straight down into the chamber and makes it a 22 caliber 8-inch pistol at that point, basically. They also make them for 9mm and 45 long Colt. So there's 3 very common rounds, or very useful rounds to you, that you can get adapters for depending on the sidearm you're carrying and what you want to do with that weapon. Now, this small combination of 3-inch adapters is what I generally recommend to people if you're just trying to make this gun more versatile in the long run. And that gives you a 12 to 20 gauge, 12 to 410 gauge. So now you can shoot most of the common shotgun ammunition. And then it gives you a 3-inch rifled 22 adapter. And it's not going to be near as accurate as the 8-inch adapter is by any means, but if you wanted to carry the 8-inch adapter too and maybe replace that 22 3-inch with something else, 38, 357, something like that, that would be fine too. And then I carry a 22 sidearm. Now this one here is a Heritage Arms. This one was a gift to me by my friend Steve Critter Davis. I also have an anniversary edition Ruger Single 6 that I generally carry, but for the common man, this has a 22 mag and 22 cylinder for it, as well as does the Ruger Single 6. But this one costs about $200 to $250, where the Ruger Single 6 is over $400. So you can get that for about half the price. It's a good gun. It's never failed me, never failed Steve Davis. Then you've got the 22 capability here. You've got 22 capability here, or 12 gauge here. And between 22 and 12 gauge, those are the most common ammunitions you're probably going to find, you know, after the fact. And if you've got the versatility of shooting them out of both guns, you're in good shape. Something happens to your sidearm, you still got a lot of 22 ammunition, you can always shoot it out of here. For my money, you know, I'm thinking this combination right here would be my go-to. I'd have the 8-inch 22 adapter, which makes this very accurate. Then I would have the 22 sidearm. I'd carry at least 150 rounds of 22 ammunition because it doesn't weigh anything, and then a couple boxes of 12 gauge. And I'm going to use that 12 gauge sparingly, only for things that I have to use a 12 gauge for. Everything else is going to be shot with a 22. You can take a squirrel with this 22 adapter easy enough at 30 yards. So it's not that big of a deal. So I wanted to kind of go over that combination with you guys today, talk a little bit about the versatility. As far as maintenance goes, you know, a piece of string with a T-handle on it that you can drop down through the bore, and some steel wool, some batting of some sort that you can pull through the bore, and then some oil. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot to maintain these weapons. Same thing with the 22. One small cleaning rod, you know, with a scrub brush on it, and you're in business. If you wanted to, you could do the same thing. Just take the cylinder out, and you could run a bore snake type string cleaner through there and just pull a piece of steel wool through there to scrub your bore out, and then pull an oiled rag through there to oil up your bore. Oil up with, you know, whatever. I use vegetable oil quite often with stuff. I also use tallow and things like that. You don't have to have gun oils. You can use vegetable type oils, work fine. I use them on all of my guns and all of my tools for the most part, and it works fine for me. It's been working fine for 5 years. Okay guys, so I appreciate you joining me for this video today, and I just kind of wanted to go over a couple things with you real quick, because this is really my main bulletproof type long-term sustainability combination. You're going to see me talk about other things. We talked about the Mosin Nagant. We've talked about the Ruger 1022. We're going to talk about the M6 Scout Rifle by Springfield Armory. We're going to talk about all of those things. Not all of them are common man priced, but this is a pretty common man priced combo that you can get yourself into for, say, $200. I think this thing's like $80, so $280, and then $100 for a shotgun. You know, less than $400, you've got a really good combination that you're going to have for a long time. This particular shotgun here is fairly old. It's at least 20 years old. I have no idea how old this pistol is, but if I know Steve Davis, it's probably at least 10, 15, 20 years old too. Still works like a charm. So if you go to Short Lane Arms or gunadapters.com to look at these adapters, I will tell you that if you put in the code Pathfinder, you'll get a 20% discount on any adapter that you order. It doesn't have to be a Pathfinder series adapter. Any of the adapters that he makes, he will give you a 20% discount on if you use the Pathfinder discount code. So he's a really good guy to deal with. I like him a lot. He's got a lot of other adapters that you can use, 38, 357, 32, things like that if you're interested. But these are the ones that make the most sense to me because they're the most common. The reason I went with the 45 long Colt is because it is a straight-walled cartridge over 40 caliber, so you could actually shoot deer with that in some states and be legal out of a 12-gauge shotgun. So I thought that was a good combination. This set of Pathfinder adapters is really more for versatility long-term. That way, any shotgun ammunition that you're liable to find, you can shoot out of it. And if you happen to get some 22s, you could shoot those as well. Or something happened to your sidearm, you could still shoot 22s out of it. But I would definitely highly recommend the 8-inch rifle adapter for 22 because it makes the gun so much more accurate. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everything that you do for me, for my school, for my family. I'm Dave Canterbury at the Pathfinder School. I'll be back with another video in this series very shortly.